And then eventually you're going to get up in the morning and it's going to be saying, well, it's a lovely day, where's my food? Get happy, get laughing, start feeling good about yourself, start feeling empowered, because I need my food to create reality. You see, in this way you can ensure that your brain craves the correct neuropeptides. And this will really, really affect your reality, folks. This will really affect your life on an emotional level, and really on all levels, because it's your emotional interpretation of reality that creates your reality. So after a little while of doing this, you will start to look at things in a different light. You'll start to feel less stressed about things. And when you do look at the information that comes in, you can interpret it all on an energetic level. It's all about energy. You are awake to what's going on. You're awake to the police state that is being created. And yeah, it's good to wake others up, but be gentle with people. When you understand that it's all simply a battle of energy, then what's to fear? Because if you're in fear, all you are is in a state that is not love. Because if you were to look at reality even in a more simplistic view than what I've been saying, then you could look at the two polarities of reality that exist, and you could say there is love and there is not love. That's it. But anyway, we'll talk a little bit more about this and about a few other things after the break. I think it's time for a break now, folks. So we'll slip off for a break, and that will give you a little bit of stuff to ponder while we do. And I'll speak to you in a few minutes, folks. And welcome back, my friends. So yeah, understanding how brain chemistry works, folks, this is a big step in fixing your reality. It's a big step in knowing how to deal with a lot of this so-called negative information. Get the proper neuropeptide receptors happening in your brain. Smile a lot, laugh a lot, get that oxytocin happening in your bloodstream. Get used to a lot of this stuff in your bloodstream. Go out and enjoy life. You can still live a wonderful life, folks. Being aware of what's going on is nothing to stop you going out and enjoying life. I mean, it should make you enjoy life more. It does to me. I mean, like I said, folks, if you ever think that this is bad, well, just look at the trouble they have to go to do all this, and realize that that's how powerful you are. All you have to do is stay in a positive, energetic state, and you've won, basically. I mean, you have. And you can deal with a lot of the stuff that's going on around you from that energetic state. You see something bad being done, you can stop that occurring by approaching it in the right way. Don't be angry with the perpetrator, but just realize that what this person is doing is polarized. It's not good. You don't have to tolerate that being done, and you can stop it being done. Speak out when you see the wrong thing being done, especially if it's being done by government and people like that. It's all about understanding the power that you have, folks, and we really do have a lot of power. We've been deceived into thinking that we don't have power, and this has been done by the programming that we've received. This is why trying to reprogram your brain the way I've just been mentioning is a good place to start. It's a good way to get your brain at least functioning properly so that you can look at other information and other aspects of your life from a positive perspective. And often when you begin to do this, you will see how you are being programmed by TV shows, by newspapers, even by the opinions of people around you. I actually watched a TV show last year. My son had to watch a TV show for school. I think it was NCIS, and I watched the show with him, and the amount of subliminals in the show were absolutely amazing. Just the way it shaped people's opinions of the world and people's opinions of other races, people's opinion of terrorism, people's opinion of how police should act towards the citizens. It was quite dangerous, some of the subliminals that were in this television show and some of the attitudes that it was promoting. And this is quite literally programming, my friends. It takes place on all levels. We are bombarded with this stuff all the time, from newspapers, from television, and there is also a great amount of programming that happens to people via the various religious institutions that we have. Religious programming is some of the most dangerous of all, and There really is a lot of this stuff that goes on, folks, and there are very few people who actually follow the doctrines prescribed by their religions. Even within the Christian religion, folks, I mean, really, look at the Christian religion. You've got over 400 sub-religions within this one religion. Each one is like a cult of their own, when really there's only one set of teachings. So why have all of these different cults? You'll find that a lot of these smaller spin-offs within religions are in fact cults. They are created as cults. They're simply situations where one person's interpretation of the doctrine appeals to others, and thus this cult is formed. And many people are simply just looking for answers, folks, and are at times very eager to embrace whatever path appeals to their sense of reason. And such people can very easily be swayed into joining these groups, these smaller subgroups. And I believe that many of these subgroups are formed simply because people are searching for meaning in their lives. Because I believe that inside many people know that what we are presented with as reality, well, it leaves a lot of questions unanswered, folks. And it kind of creates a huge emptiness inside, a longing to know more and to seek out more information. And I think that many feel the truth inside. They feel that something is missing, something has been taken away, that there's much more going on to this reality than what is perceived by the five senses. They look for that meaning within religion, and religion is only too happy to fill that little void. But people are still left searching. They're given something. But what that is usually faith in an external character or an external event, because many religions are designed in such a way as to prevent people from ever truly looking within themselves. The New Age movement is a little different. The New Age movement is, well, it's a self-perpetuating organism. It's this self-perpetuating thing that holds great appeal to many people. And because of this, it can be quite dangerous. Like, the New Age movement is extremely close to the truth, but it's not the truth. All the things that the New Age movement talks about, or when it refers to energy and connectedness, is very real, but it doesn't account for the systems of control that are being put in place in this physicality. It teaches its followers that such problems should not be acknowledged. It teaches that to acknowledge such issues is to be in judgment, and therefore to be in duality, and blah blah blah. So the problems are ignored, and no one addresses the problems, which then allows these problems to grow and continue and to get much worse. The New Age movement also very much uses ego, and this is very much why it is a self-perpetuating system. And the problems that the New Age movement ignores should be acknowledged, but they should be acknowledged in the correct manner. Now, quite notably, the very basis of the New Age movement actually originally comes from the teachings of people like Helena Blavatsky. But upon her death, Blavatsky's teachings were, well, they were usurped, they were hijacked, the same as most religions have been hijacked. In the case of Blavatsky's teachings, they were hijacked by people such as Alice Bailey. And the established New Age movement, as we see it in the world today, comes mainly from works published by Alice Bailey's publishing company that was known as the Lucis Trust. Of course, now in the 21st century, these teachings or derivations of them can be found almost everywhere, and not just from Lucis Trust. But Alice Bailey was quite a different person from Blavatsky. Blavatsky was a true spiritualist, and such people are pretty rare, folks. Every now and then in history we see the appearance of a single person who is a truly spiritual person, people who are truly connected to Source, but such people are rare. Blavatsky very much seems to be one of these people. She was very connected. She was a true spiritualist. Alice Bailey, however, was not. She was simply a disciple of the teachings of Blavatsky. And when Blavatsky died, Bailey began publishing her own interpretations of Blavatsky's teaching. But as I just said before, such spiritualists as Blavatsky were rare, and they are rare. And Bailey would appear to have been more politically motivated, whereas Blavatsky was more oriented towards bringing an understanding to the world Bailey in many ways presented the world with a doctrine, and today derivations of this New Age doctrine can be found almost everywhere, because due to human nature and due to the nature of the teachings, once such a doctrine is presented, it becomes self-perpetuating. Now, research very much suggests that such movements as the New Age movement, which was essentially created by Alice Bailey based on the teachings of Blavatsky, the modern New Age movement I'm talking about, research would very much suggest that these movements were created as distractions, and they're designed to contain just enough truth to attract and resonate with people, but just enough disinformation to prevent people from ever truly connecting with each other.